the best businesses, because I've seen a lots of opens and lots of closes, but the ones who stay around the longest are the ones that build a community within this boutique world. I've seen it
Mhm.
happen. The ones who are ugly and are not nice and try to compete or try to tear you down or talk bad about you or do this, and you hear all this yeah, yeah, which is so silly, are the ones who do not make it.
Boutique hustle. Owns it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 3 of the Boutique Hustle Unzipped. We are getting into today's episode, and it is going to be all about stop stalking and start stocking. It's a tongue twister, Sonia. Tell
I know.
me, when we talk about social media, are you a stalker? Are you a stalker? Are you looking to find the best finds to get into your store so that you can have the best merchandise for your product? I mean, for your store? Or are you just scrolling and stalking people until you're up all night long and just now you're stressed?
Guilty for not being on social media as much as I probably should. However, when I do go, I'm scrolling. I like to see what's happening. I like to see what people are doing, but I don't stay there long. It is a deep hole. And so
Really?
oh yeah.
That
And
surprised me. I thought you'd be just over here all night long. No, not so much.
no. I caught myself like lying in bed opening my phone sometimes before getting up for work. Next thing you know, 45 minutes later, I was still on social media scrolling and I was just like, this is not productive.
At all.
I personally feel for me, for what I do, I can get the little info that I need in the first 5-10 minutes. Cause then, I get into makeup and like people are selling
Yes.
me
Like,
stuff and
I get
I buy
pulled into
it. Are you? Yeah, I just start buying everything that's thrown my way and I end up with crap I don't need. So like I
tactical,
just like
tactical. So funny.
are you guilty of that?
I'd say I go through phases. Like there are times like I'll be completely transparent that I get into a scrolling phase where I do get a little stalkerish, but I have trained myself to not get caught up in that because I don't like the way it makes me feel. Like when you start really stalking your competitors or like people who are doing things that you think are better or bigger or faster and they're growing more than you are at a particular time, you start kind of like getting in your head, and I don't
Oh
like the way
yeah.
that makes me feel. So I have preyed off the stalkerish side of the social media scrolls. I did that a long time ago because I just don't like the way it makes me feel, to be honest with you. However, I do see how easy it is. It is so easy to get caught up in that spider web of seeing what other people are doing. And let's be honest, social media is there for a reason. It's a marketing pitch.
No, it's great. Yeah. Viewed properly, it's great.
Send. But what you don't know is what's really happening behind that post or behind that reel or, what it's taken for that other company or this or that to even put that out on social media. So we get caught up in lots of FOMO, lots of, well, we need to do this too if we aren't careful. And, so I think that this is a really great conversation, especially for other boutique owners or even people in your industry as well. Because we do get caught up in the social media aspect of the world and what other people are doing. And it always looks better, always, because that's what social media does to us. What's your
So
thoughts on that?
I 100% agree. It happens to the best of us. It's definitely a confidence killer if your head's not on right that day.
Yep.
But like, let's talk about that from your standpoint. I think you're a lot in a position where it's a lot more competitive than what I do.
Right, right.
I guess I'm more specialty. What are those feelings? Because I know it can be good or bad, but I'm just curious. Like,
I think whenever,
give me a bad. Like what is
I
a
will.
worst case scenario,
I will.
and
I'll
then a,
give you
a
bad and
best.
good. There is good aspects of it as well. But the bad one is you kind of start sitting back, and I know other people can relate because I would think that this would be human nature. But you start looking at what a competitor doing, or they don't even have to be a competitor. It could be a store in Pennsylvania and they're like popping off. Their marketing looks amazing. Their product looks amazing. Their packaging of what it looks like, 500 orders at a time. And you're over here like busting your behind on all the marketing and all the the things that it takes, all your campaigns and all the things that it takes to do a launch and build a collection. And then sometimes it's a flop or sometimes it's amazing, but it's not always consistent. We all know that, but then you're looking at this other store that looks like it's so consistent. They just have it going on and they're just killing it. So then you get defeated and you start getting
You
a little
feel
bit.
defeated, yeah.
Yeah, you do. You feel defeated, like what you're doing isn't good enough, or you're not working hard enough, or what you're doing isn't, up to your standards. And then you put all this
Mhm.
pressure on yourself, and then you kind of get depressed. I mean, there's been a time where I've been depressed thinking about stuff like that because the needle wasn't moving fast enough. There's been times
And
where
someone else is shipping 500 boxes, even though
exactly, and I'm like,
half of
I'm
them
doing
could be empty and they're
yeah, exactly. And then there's been times where it creates burnout, and burnout's
Mhm.
a real thing. So, those are side effects of getting too caught up in other people's social media success because we don't know what's really happening or, we can do a lot to make it look a lot. Like there are
Oh,
things we
yeah.
can do to make it seem a certain way when it actually may not be. So I would say for me over the years, I really had to train myself to not get caught up too much in those things. But the positive side of it, which I think is really great insight, is there are competitors out there in the world. And truthfully, I don't look at local competitors as much as I look at like outside of our states because I like to just get new, fresh ideas from people that I do look up to. And there are a couple bigger boutiques that I definitely look up to and I like what they do. I don't know how successful or what it is on the back end, but I just truly love what they do. So I get inspired. And so I feel like if
That's
you
good.
can look at competition or look at others who are doing what you're doing and get inspired by them and take what they are doing and make it your own, keep it within your brand, then it can work for you. If you think about strategies and not so much like, oh, they have this product that they said they've sold out of 6 times. Like, we don't actually know that. But if you can kinda think
Sounds
about what
good.
their strategy looks like and you can go towards more that way, sometimes it can come into your best interest. So I like to look at it more that way than what they're actually doing, if that makes sense, because
Mhm.
you really have to think about, is what they're doing true or is it fake news? And there's lots of fake news out there.
It's a lot of smoke and mirrors. I think I feel like my job sometimes is not just a buyer, I'm sort of a therapist. People tend to call me that. I feel like I have to talk so many people off the ledge. It's like I get the phone calls when they're feeling defeated or, they just spent an hour on social media and, they're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if this is
Right,
working out. And I always tell my clients they can't focus on that because, like you said, that feeling, that, like, confidence killer, if you don't have
um,
your head on right that day, because there are days you feel amazing, you're like, "Oh, whatever, I'm doing great," like, none of that
right.
matters. But if it's one of the bad days,
Yeah, it's not
it's not healthy for one, it's definitely not productive,
no.
and then it
You can't
just
make smart decisions either.
yeah, and it takes your focus away from what you should be doing that can move you to that next level. And
Correct. I
I don't
totally
know, I'm
agree with
getting a call, but I think more than anything, sorry guys, I'm gonna turn this down. It's important to go into social media, whatever it is, TikTok or Instagram, with an intention. Like be
yeah, that's
intentional about it. And I think as well is turn off the notifications. You
yeah.
don't need to know every time somebody makes a post. I mean, good for you if you can
Unless
manage
you're our
that.
customers, you gotta keep those notifications on. If you are listening and you are a customer, be sure to have those notifications turned on.
True. We're talking about boutique owners and people who have to like focus on their business and stores, maybe for stay at home moms. But anyway, I think that's a distraction big time. Like,
Yeah,
even
I
with
agree.
my girls, when we're buying, I'm like, how do you like we get so many messages. It's WhatsApp, it's text, it's phone, it's
Right.
email. And then you got the notifications going on, ding, ding, ding all
Yeah,
day long. And I'm just like, then they're like, my battery's almost dying. I can't take any more pictures. And I'm like, well, turn those damn notifications off. That's eating up your battery.
literally.
But it throws you off kilter or it sends you down the wrong path and you
Down a
gotta
rabbit
stay
hole
focused.
you don't wanna get down, and then hours are
Mhm.
wasted over something that you can't even control. So
Yep.
And that's the thing about marketing and, whenever you're building campaigns and all the social media aspects is what you are seeing that people post, they've been working on this. Like, there is so much behind that post that is unrecognizable that you have not seen, and then you're, like, all festered into what's happening in that moment when
Mhm.
they actually who you're seeing has been working on that. So then you have to really think, "Alright, it's not about right now. What can I do? What strategy can I create if I want to get on their level or if I want to get, to scale or if I want to look a certain way, what strategy can I create to move forward so that you're not stuck in what somebody else is doing? Because I do feel like at times you're looking at something and then you get stuck in what you see, then your head starts spinning, then you start spiraling, and then you don't even know what to do next. So then you just wasted
Yep.
like 3 hours.
Right.
So
And you were gonna do something, and now this sends you in a whole different trajectory. So again, it's about focusing and going in there with the intention. Like you said, if you can use it, to get ideas, to be inspired,
yeah,
to be
inspired.
inspired, that's
Yes.
great. I don't want to talk all bad about social media. I think most of it's good.
It's very
It's
powerful.
just about controlling, kind of how you use it so
Yes.
that you don't lose your power to it or your
Yes,
sanity, which is a
or
big
the
part of
community. I
it.
know it's so easy to get so sucked into that, and it isn't a good feeling, and it's not worth it. And then at the end of the day, like, I know there's times, like, our marketing team, I mean, once again, honest truth, like, we feel defeated because maybe a campaign that we put so much work and energy into didn't perform like we had hoped, or we didn't hit those goals that we had set for ourselves. And then we have another campaign that we're now preparing for. So you feel like shut down, but then you're going to look for inspiration, but then you get caught into the 500 packages that other person's sending out. And so you just kind of like get caught up in your head. And that's a huge no no. You have to stay so focused in what you do. And then it never fails. I'll be out in public and then I'll hear the comment, y'all's social media is so amazing. Y'all do such a great job at marketing. And I'm like, thank you so much for saying that
You guys
because
really do.
last week we were crying, but it
My
is
eyes are still swollen.
literally you work so hard on the back end and on the inside of it. You don't even really take a minute to appreciate what other people's actually are seeing that you're putting out because you're so focused on what somebody else is doing and they are thinking the same thing you're thinking. So it's like just staying so tunnel vision into what you know, because what you know
Mhm.
is best and not getting too much caught into your head and trying to veer off a different way. Cause then it becomes like you're throwing spaghetti at the wall and they're just not sticking once you start that whole process. And that's
Like
definitely not fun.
on average, how long would you say it takes you to put like one of your really cool reels together? Because I'm only asking because I've been trying to put a reel together since let's see,
Well,
it's going to be 2 weeks this weekend for an event I went to. And I wanted to make a reel for my friend's business, and I'm still not done.
okay, Sonia. So that's what the people are for. The smart young ones. I
Oh,
would
I
it would
can do it. It's the
It would
time.
take me 2 hours to put a reel together. Faricia, who is our creative marketing director, she can put that thing together in, like, 30, 60 seconds. Like, she knows how to put those things together really fast. Me, however, not so much. I can do one, but they're not that great. Like, that's not really my cup of tea, I'll be honest.
Well, at least you
Nobody's
know.
asking me to put reels together. They're like, "I need your body so I can film you so I can put your reel together." I'm like, "I can do that."
Okay, well, hey, that counts too.
Uh-huh. Mhm. Yep.
So, going back to what I was saying with me with clients is another thing that happens with these rabbit holes is recently there was like a little bit of a scandal on social media. And then I started getting random screenshots. Have you heard? Have you seen?
I think
And
I know that
swear it took like half of my day. And I was like, and it's just like, I need to put this aside and I need to look at this when I get home. Mind you, I
Uh-huh.
might have looked at it at every red light I hit on the way home, but
That was a kind
um
of cute scandal, though, I'm not gonna lie.
but I mean, again, that's another place you get caught up in, and it's not serving your purpose. Like, it's
It's not something
great for gossip. It's entertaining, no
but
doubt.
that is it. We can't say these people's names, but
No.
if you think about that scandal, though, that scandal happened because they were both sitting in their bathtubs at 12 AM looking at each other. getting all festered, not staying in their lane, trying to do what the other was doing. If they would have just stayed in their lane, this wouldn't have happened. So,
Okay, you said it. No, but it happens. Look, it happens. It's the airing out of stuff like that
yeah,
on social media that I'm just like,
I know
I cringe and I feel embarrassed for them and I'm like, but
it happens.
it,
You're right.
it happens and hopefully you
So
learn
tell
from
me
it.
from your perspective, whenever you have your clients and they get the social media FOMO and they're like, why didn't I get that dress? That dress is flying out at such and such. Why didn't you show me that dress? And you're like, well, that dress is now out of stock. How do you
I've
handle
been
those
showing
situations?
you that dress.
You're like, I've been showing you that dress for 3 months.
Yeah, you were the first one to see that dress. We don't get that as much as I get the I don't know what to do. Like, the girl I'm using is not great with social media or like it can't get, can't get traction and blah blah blah. And I always default to no one can do it better than you getting in front of the camera.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
everyone's like, "Oh god, no, I hate how I look. I am not good in front of the camera." And I'm like, "I hate being in front of the camera."
Hmm.
But your customers want that. Like,
It's
you're
true.
gonna be so much more relatable than the 20-year-old, and fine, you can have that one too, but
Yes.
I always say, like, get in front of it, talk normal, make
That's
mistakes,
right.
poke fun at yourself.
Right.
Look at us. We're trying to like it's the
Do the
3rd
dance.
episode. We're trying to figure this out and hopefully it continues to get better. But I think, we're moving in a direction where I think people are getting a little burnt out by all the like fake and the fluff
I
and
agree.
the like just overconsumption and the
Yes.
showing off that like when you just get in front of the camera and you just say something silly, it could even be you walk. I always tell people just take a video, walk around your store, and then, do a voiceover on it. Like maybe don't
Those are,
put your face on it if you don't feel like it, but that's people want that.
yeah, I
People
agree.
want just real.
Authentic.
And so authentic every time. And as you get more and more, you'll get more comfortable with being in front of the camera. Trust me, I hate it, but
I hate it too. It's one of my least favorite things to do every single week, but it's so necessary. I have a great story from this. We over the years, we go to these big conferences, especially
mhm.
after COVID, because I felt like if I had to hear the word pivot one more time, I was gonna like scream. So we were like, what's everybody like what's happening in the market? We would go to these big conferences, which were so informational with like amazing entrepreneurs. It wasn't just in the boutique realm, it was just businesses overall. And one piece of advice that we got a lot of advice, but one piece of advice that we got from this particular conference that we went through when they were looking at our marketing on social media is they felt like we're a family brand, but they felt like they didn't know the family. And so they're like, we don't feel connected because like I can't like we see y'all here in person and they like want to come hang out with us. They want to know about our business. They want to know our story. They wanna know where the clothes are from. How do they get the clothes? They were like, "But when we get to your website or when we get to your social media,
There's none of
I'm
that.
standing. I don't see you," you know?
Well, there is now, I think.
100% because like, we're all over it. But at that time, we were having these young models, like 18. I mean, it was hard to find models, truthfully, too, but we were relying on models who were available to put the clothes on, post it. We were just doing the work, right? And so since then, that's whenever we started getting even my mom and my Aunt Cindy, who 36 years of business, they're the founders, they're very much still involved in our businesses, started getting in front of that camera. And it was a game changer. We use them for ads now. It brings in the clientele that we're looking for. And it has helped our social media following so much. I'm not saying that our followers on Instagram have boosted. I'm not going to say that, but our engagement when Cindy and Debbie are in the reels, are in the posts or on our stories, that engagement is always our top performers. But I think
Mhm.
it's because they're relatable. They're in their 60s, they're still cute, they're still dressing like they're living, they're not
Cindy
dressing
looks amazing, by the way.
so good. Follows at Herringstones if you would like more insight. Um,
And
and
Cindy.
they have fun with it, and so for them, it keeps them very relevant. It
Mhm.
helped our Monroe location where they are tremendously. It really increased their business there because people were seeing them. It was coming together. The story was finally coming together. And then I started doing some modeling, which I hate. I'll be honest. I hate
Wait,
modeling
you're a
every
model now?
I am a model, a herring store model. Like, I have been since I
That's
was
cool.
16 and I thought I graduated, and we are back at it, and it's not fun for me. I don't like it, but it's necessary, and we get
Yeah.
feedback. Like, I love your models, but I love seeing y'all because, like, they know I'm not skin and bones. Like, I have a chest, I'm thicker in the middle, so it's like real life. Like, Hannah wears it
Mhm.
size 6, not a size
Right.
2. So, and then, like, my mom's well, she's skinnier than me right now, but we're the kind of the same size, but built similar, but that's 2 different age gaps. Then you have my Aunt Cindy, who's more petite, but still, in her 60s. So then we do still
Mhm.
have our model. So we mix it up to where we have found has been very helpful because we do have a broad range of consumers and body types. So we try to like do that. But my moral of my story, because I talk and I just spin myself in all my conversations, is that it is so important if you're building your brand to be the brand and to be in front of the brand and the face of the brand because you can't rely on somebody else to do that for you if you're telling the story. And people buy the story. It's not about the product. They're
Right.
invested in you and your brand and what you have to offer and how you make them feel more than what you're actually selling. So that's
Again, it
just
goes back to that feeling relatable
yes,
to your customer. And to the listeners, we're not saying don't have the cute girls or don't have the
for
models.
sure.
Knock yourself
Look,
out
you
with
have
that.
to
But
have that if you wanna keep things turning, because like, I ain't
right,
sitting there modeling every piece of merchandise. Like, I'm like, "Pick me 3
right.
outfits. I need 3
But
looks."
no one can sell it, I think, the way you guys can when you guys do post. And I hear that across the board from all my clients. I have my Florida one, you know who I'm talking about. She hates being in front of the camera. However, every time she does a post,
It
her sales
works.
go up about 30%. And I'm
Wow.
like, what more proof do you need that that's what
Right.
you should
I
be
know.
doing? And so she's like, I know I have to do it more. And I'm like,
And
yeah,
it's
like,
hard.
like now you have to do it.
Yeah. When you're running the business and it's running you, and then it's like you have all your all the things that you have to do, and then you have to stop, have full glam, do a photo shoot. Like, it does take 3 or 4 hours out
But
of your week.
I think that's kind of what I was saying when say that I tell my clients it doesn't matter kind of that you're not all glam and that you
Yeah.
don't feel skinny and all these things.
Right, right, right.
That's what makes you relatable. Maybe you
That is
have
true.
your sweats. Everything doesn't have to be about
Perfection.
selling the product.
Yeah.
Sometimes people just want to peek into your everyday life. And that
Right.
kind of helps sell the product because they start to connect with you. And then by
Yeah.
connecting with you, they want to support you. And the way they support you is they go into your site or whatever and purchase from you. It all ties together.
It does, it does. It is important, it's so important. My mom and Aunt Cindy same, they give 3 hours of their week, every single week and it's important for them. Like, they make sure that 3 hours a week is given for marketing, and they knock it all out in the 3 hours. We don't do this whole, like, a little here, a little there, a little here, a little there. It's like, if I'm dressed, you need me, I give my team 4 hours, but,
That's a long time. Like,
it
what do
is
you
a
guys
long
do
time.
in
But
those
I
4
also
hours?
sell the photo shoots as well, so it's not like I'm sitting there modeling the whole time. They can get me for those, but, it's
Mhm.
my top block for that particular things, but you can knock it out all. You can do table plugs, in-store content, like your modeling, your outside content, whatever you need all in that time block. So if you really can schedule your week accordingly, then you can make it happen, and then you're dressed for the day so you can whatever's next. I try to, like, plan it to where it works with my day as well, so I don't waste some
Do
really good make.
you your analytics, data, engagement, all of that kind of confirm what we're saying? Like, when you
Yes,
do the post, your mom, Cindy, it
yes.
just
So, naturally, anytime that we have about 6 big campaigns a year, and in those big campaigns is when we get all of us together as the family and even some of our business partners. Those and obviously there are bigger campaigns, but those do perform the best, and when we can't make that happen, it doesn't perform like it should. So it is and we can't all do that, like, every single week, so we do have our weekly plugs with just new arrivals, and we still try to pop our faces in, but those campaigns that we can all get together and do a whole marketing thing with all of us together, and we're all modeling together, we're making reels together, we're doing family bonding reels together. Those are our best performing campaigns for sure. So, it
and
does
I'm
work.
I'm assuming, like, you guys do stuff when you guys recently went as a family to the beach or whatever? Like,
That was an unplugged trip, so there will be no reels of that trip. We
I mean,
unplugged also if we said the word herring stones for a week. Like, I swear, I don't think the name it was like a cuss word. Like, nobody said it.
well, I wouldn't it be a good opportunity to be like, "We're wearing herring stones?
But I am just gonna say I am proud of
Are
us.
you burnt?"
It's not priority, so
Oh,
pat on
okay.
your backs. Yes.
Good for
So,
you.
the
So
next
give
trip,
me
we'll have to do that.
yeah, like 2 for 1. Give me what would you like, do you have a horror story or a post you made that you later were like, "Holy crap, what was I thinking?" Or like,
I'm gonna be honest, I can't go back
just
to watch me. Like, I can't do it. So, I don't even go back to rewatch me. I'll watch it one time and I'm like, "Oh god." And then I'll just look at the performance. Like, I just go to the statistics. I just need to know what the
so you won't
analytics
watch it at all?
I can't do that. It's just, like, too much for
Why?
me. I just look ridiculous most of the time. I mean,
I can watch it, but I definitely have to watch it by myself.
yeah, no, I
My
can't do it.
husband edits, and I'm just like, "Careful what you tell me, because whatever you're gonna tell me, I already saw it, and I probably think it's 10 times worse than
Works.
you're
Yeah,
gonna tell me, and it's just gonna
no.
piss me off." I already saw
I'll
the
watch
faces I made, I already saw, like, everything I'm doing, and I just watch it because I don't wanna repeat it, but it
so
sucks.
funny. I'll watch my Mom and Aunt Cindy's over and over again because I think that they're hilarious, but mine, I'm like, "Oh god,
Do you
cringe."
ever give them feedback?
No, I think they're just hilarious, so no, I don't have any feedback for them. They just do
That's funny.
whatever. They literally do whatever they're directed to do. It's the funniest shit, I
I mean, they're
swear.
just funny, period.
There's one reel I did right after the Super Bowl, like that one of, Kendrick Lamar that, that was trending. Now that
Mhm.
one I thought was I did that one in my Letterman jacket from high school. I did watch that one over and over and over and over and over again, and I would just pee on myself laughing every time.
'Cause you
I
thought it
just
was amazing or
I
you
just
just thought it was
well,
funny?
it was so that ridiculous. I just I was like, "This is so funny." I just couldn't believe I did that, but
Yeah, but that's the thing, I'm sure that happens a lot more, but it gets edited and it gets made all cute and pretty, so
yeah,
I think the moral of the story is focus, have
focus,
intention,
be
and if
purposeful
you
in what you're
feel
doing.
yourself feeling a certain kinda way, check out. Like,
Yeah,
don't keep going because it's messing with your emotions, and that's probably the worst business killer. If you're in a funk, not having a good day, fought with your boyfriend, husband, whatever, and like,
yeah.
then you gotta watch a post of, somebody getting all their merchandise in and all these shipments going out, and you're just like,
You're like,
"F."
"I'm doing wrong." Yeah.
Yeah.
It is
Like,
the
just
worst.
don't do that to yourself because,
Yes,
that's their journey,
that's right.
and you need to
And
focus on your journey.
that's another thing is everybody's journey is a different timing, So we've had tons of highs and lows in our business. And I'm sure other people are going when we're at our high, going, "Oh my God, what are they doing? We're not doing." But we've had a lot of lows too. And we're not posting that on social media, like we're not gonna let you know when the things don't feel great. We're just gonna really hit it hard when they feel amazing. But either way, you don't really know. You don't really know what people are actually going through at all. It can
Yeah.
look one way or another. Another thing that I do like about social media, I want to make a point here to talk about is community over competition, not, really reaching out to people who are local to you or who mimics what you do and build a community around that. There's some Texas stores that we joined in with over the years and did a giveaway. They're all boutiques, great boutiques. And it was a couple in Louisiana and several in Texas. I love the Texas boutiques because they are like all on Team Texas. They are at markets,
Mhm.
they're like having dinners together, and it is so cute they built a community and it's like I love being a part of those communities. And there's a lots of fantastic boutique owners out in the world that if you can really build around them, then you can do like cross promos with each other through socials, which is always
Mhm.
so helpful. And consumers love that. They
They
love seeing
do.
interacting with your competitors. It's fun, and we've done that. We've done that several times. We do that most holidays, and like I said, they're not like local boutiques, which I would do that with local boutiques as well because I love a lot of the boutiques here locally as well.
You
But we
guys
reach
get
out.
along really well with your The one around the corner from you. What is it again?
Yes, Maven's, Christine at Maven's,
Mhm.
she's my girl. We get along really well. She's a great colleague. And anytime, like, we'll call each other all the time for good times or like, "Hey, have you been busy? Had you have traffic?" And I'm like, "No." She's like, "Me either." And I'm like, like, we'll brainstorm together. Or there's
Mhm.
times where she's like, "Hey, we had such a great weekend. Did y'all have a good weekend?" And I'm like, sometimes at one time I was like, "No, I didn't." And she was like, "Really?" And I was like, "No." So then it made me start thinking and like talking to her about some ideas that we could do to bring more traffic on our side. So there's so valuable to have a community within this boutique world because nobody understands this industry quite like your competitor. And it's
Mhm.
just I love being able to have camaraderie with
It's really important, and I think that's not common to hear because usually I hear "Oh, they have it up the street.
right.
They always try to, like, copy everything we do, blah, blah, blah." It's like, get
Yeah,
in there
we
with
have that
them
as
and
well. We do have that as well.
yeah, figure out how to, like,
Yeah,
work together.
I agree. I
I'm sure
prefer
there's people that are like, "No way," and that's fine, but I'm just saying if you can and there's an opportunity, I am telling you it works
the
to your
best
benefit.
businesses, and I know this from experience, the best businesses, because I've seen a lots of opens and lots of closes, but the ones who stay around the longest are the ones that build a community within this boutique world. I've seen it
Mhm,
happen. The ones who are ugly and are not nice and try to compete or try to tear you down or talk bad about you or do this, and you hear all this yeah, which is so silly, are the ones who do not make it. I've seen those doors shut over and over and over again, and it's because they never looked outside of what they were doing to the people who already knew what they were doing. I want to go talk to the people who know what they're doing, who can
mhm,
help me, who can hold my
mhm,
hand during hard economic times, who can hold my
and
hand.
vice versa. There's something to be
Exactly, and
learned
we
for
have
them as
tons of
well.
knowledge. Like, I would do if a lady called me right this second from another boutique and was like, "Hey, girl, whatever, whatever," I would talk to her for 3 hours. Like, I have so
Mhm.
much to say that would be great for that competitor that we could join forces and share ideas and thoughts and experiences, what does work, what doesn't work. To me, it's so, so important. I believe in that so much, but
I agree. I have that same thing, and I know we're sort of going off topic here a little bit, but whatever. There's so much to talk about. I have buyers that just know me, and I'm here every day, Monday through Friday, and they come once a week, twice a week, however long, and I already know if they're walking towards me with their phone in hand, I know they're gonna ask me, "Have I seen this dress
this yeah,
somewhere? Do you know where this top is from?" And I tell them, like, I'm not threatened by it, if it becomes too much of a habit, maybe
right.
not, but no, I for the most part,
All of
yeah,
my vendors.
I tell them where I've seen it.
Yeah,
They appreciate it, and again,
they
I'm
would do the
not
same
threatened
thing.
by it. Yeah, I
Right,
mean, I
yeah.
usually
I
ask
just
my
feel like there's
girls because 'cause they're
so
running
much
around as well, but yeah, that's great.
there's so much to go around. There's so many people, there's so many businesses, but there's you never like the amount of money and research of knowledge that we've all done to get to where we're at is just insane. And it's like sometimes the knowledge is right next door, because it could just be a piece of knowledge that you get from one business owner to another business owner. And then you put all that knowledge together and it's powerful. And I think that when one business succeeds and the next one does, you all succeed together, especially like where we are in Lafayette. We have a shopping strip. And I want each business to succeed because I've seen that shopping center.
Everybody wins, yeah.
Yes, and it doesn't help me any, but my
Mhm.
business thrives when every other business is thriving. We're all doing it together. It's crazy how that is. It's not one store out of all of them who's killing it and then everybody else isn't. That's not how that works in a shopping center.
And that's where I give a lot of my clients the example of that mall concept back in the day when we didn't have malls and all of a sudden it's like, somebody thought of an idea, "Let's put a bunch of stores inside one building."
Right.
And you're gonna put your competitor across from you, they're gonna be bookending the mall,
Yeah.
and you were like, if that were a city block, you would be like, Hell no, how is this gonna work? That's like,
Yeah, you're like,
they're
"I
gonna
was
take all
here."
my customers."
Yeah,
Yeah,
not like that.
but what it really does is, like, it helps business because it just brings more people in,
Exactly.
and then
Do you think
you're
about
gonna get traffic.
the
Say again?
gas stations? They don't go down the street to put another gas station. They go right
No,
across the street from the gas station.
right.
So, it's the way that it works. And at our level, I think whenever you think of a boutique industry, you think small, exclusive, and then when you have that mindset, you get all petty, but the boutique industry is now big, and you
And
need each
online,
other to get through this industry because of the ebbs and flows, all the changes. We can't keep up with all the changes without other people helping us out.
yeah, and I would hate to buy from somebody that I feel is catty or, like, is talking crap about another boutique. I kind of frown upon
Right.
that. It's like, what are your insecurities that, you're doing
Yeah,
this?
agree.
There are exceptions, but I'm just saying, like, overall, it helps.
Yeah, I totally agree. I love
So
it.
again, to reiterate, just focus. Don't be afraid to get in front of the camera. Don't forget that these reels are not always real.
They're
And
not
no, and you're going to create the best content at the end of the day. But yeah, good luck, focus, and keep stalking instead of stalking.
that's it. That's it. Well,
So what do
next
we
yeah,
yeah, I was going to say, what are we going to talk about next week?
I think next week, let's see, what did we say? We are gonna go straight in to higher hills and fire flat. So we are getting into, hiring slowly and firing quickly. So we're gonna
Mhm.
really talk about building your team and, hiring, which is perfect because 'cause I'm in that
Season.
season right now. We're getting ready to hire, leadership, positions and all the things. So I think we have some great things to talk about whenever we get into this topic. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, we're going to touch into like how sometimes we don't let people go soon enough and
Yep,
move
we
on
just
to the next. It's
keep
scary,
paying.
but I'm sure you're going to have a lot of insight on that as well.
Yes, I could talk about, hiring and firing a lot, especially since COVID. It's been a thing, more so than ever before, but it'll be fun. So we'll get to that next week.
Mhm.
It's good seeing you. Have fun on your next
Yeah,
vacation.
thanks. Just going to wine country. Can have a
Love
fun
that.
weekend. Well, you just had one too.
I did, but that was a family vacation. Is this a family vacation for you, or this is just fun?
It's Brittany's 30th birthday on Sunday.
Fun!
So we're going as a family
I
and
love
it'll
that.
be it'll be fun.
Well, I can't wait to
So
see
thanks
pictures.
again. Yeah, thanks again. We don't see each other often except for when we're recording. So,
Exactly.
so it's always nice to see you.
I'll see you
And we
next
look
week.
forward to having you next week. And again, follow us on our social media, Boutique Hustle. We look forward to seeing you or having you listen to us next week and hit the subscribe and follow button.
There we go. See you later, Sonia.
Okay,
Bye,
bye
guys.
guys.